Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Superstructures Engineering Marvels. This is from National Geographic. It is a series. It is from 2019. It's one season. It has 6 episodes, and it's all about engineering. It's about the magic we make through science of building some of the most mind-bogglingly huge, intricate, and powerful machines ever imagined. This is not cities. These are not things of nature. These are like we see here. This is a gigantic plane, a plane that looks like it could barely fit inside a football stadium. But what we start with, I only watched one episode. I watched the first episode, and it's about the International Space Station. And honestly, on the surface, it looks pretty simple, looks pretty boring. It's not really super sexy. It's not like the Starship Enterprise or the Millennium Falcon or anything. It is not anything that's, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to fly that thing. It's functional, but it's more than functional. It is a machine that needs to keep people alive using technology that has to replicate things we take for granted here when it comes down to just breathing air, drinking water, having heat or cold, regulating temperature within the structure itself inside the space station, but also protecting it from, let's say, just about 500,000 different projectiles that are just flying around space at any given moment. Now, a lot of them are active, a lot of them are junk, and some of them are just pieces of what used to be out there because they have collided with each other. There is a sequence in this first episode that sort of gives you an idea of just how much space debris is floating around this planet at one time. It's amazing the sun gets through. It's a lot. And something the size of just a paper clip is like, as an example they use, a motorcycle running into a car at about 50 miles an hour. That's not an exact quote, but it's devastating. Not just to the paperclip, but to the space station itself. And sometimes they have to do, they can get out of the way. And how they do that is something that's absolutely incredible. Changing their orbit slightly involves using no fuel whatsoever. They use gyroscopes. Spoiler. And how they can move out of the way, or they can just hunker down and without having a full understanding of how big the item is and its likely trajectory or where it may impact, they just have to wait and see what happens and be prepared. It's a machine that's bigger than, say, Times Square. If you've been there, it gives you an idea of just how massive it is. And the speed it moves is, 5 miles a second? 5 miles a second. It would go from coast to coast in the United States in about 10 minutes. Yeah. It's moving fast. It's to me, yeah, looking at it doesn't look sexy or it doesn't look super interesting, but the amount of effort that has gone into it, not just American, but also Russian, working together, and so many other cultures that have also visited the space station and contributed over the years. By the way, when we built the space station, along with the Russians, their part and our part, they didn't really make a thing that helped connect them properly. That seemed like an important part, you'd think. And so they had to build something special to make them attach properly, like a special Lego piece. They use the word Lego a lot in this, so, or at least once or twice, but enough that makes you go, yeah, you're building that Lego set and you get all the parts together and you're missing that one piece. You're not building the set. It's not gonna get finished. And yeah, it's the fact that the thing exists, the fact that it was the first of what would become the International Space Station was only launched in 1998, and it's been going all this time. it's pretty astounding. So I highly recommend this if you care about engineering whatsoever. Yeah, it can get a little dry if you're not really into NASA stuff, but it's still some astounding things. The fact that we as humans have built something so massive, so expensive, and so powerful that we can keep human beings alive in space, a place that human beings are not able to exist and probably shouldn't exist in any natural way. We have no way of naturally existing. Forget Superman, forget Captain Marvel. We don't have those abilities to just float around in space and go, hey, I'm having a conversation, I'm breathing. No, we can't do that. It's just not a thing. This show gives you an idea of just how ingenious, not to get too bold or full of ourselves, but pretty dang smart monkeys. Let's check out what the other things are. We have the space station. We have the ultimate cargo ship. That thing's huge. I've seen that before in other things. Monster plane, that thing that we saw there in the first image. The tallest building, well, the Burj Khalifa. Yeah. So then out in Dubai. And yeah, if you've seen that, and you've seen, Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible climbing that thing, that's amazing. The biggest dome, the Singapore National Stadium. So, and then we have a giant car plant, in Germany. So, in Wolfsburg. So yeah, there's a lot to see. I imagine if they kept going with this, they would have put the Sphere from Las Vegas in there. Yeah, you never know. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, there's plenty of documentaries about that on YouTube these days. I saw a really good one the other day that showed some great cross sections. One of the great things about this, I do like the fact that they do these blow ups and cross sections and show all the little details here and there. And yeah, if you're wondering, how do they get air up there? Sometimes they have to bring it up with a rocket. But it's not really, cost effective. It's going to cost you $200 million to get air up there. And it's going to take at least 6 hours. If they don't have that much time, well, what are you going to do? They show you what they do to keep these people breathing in inhospitable conditions. There's nothing to prevent, if something really, really goes wrong, those people are screwed, which is, I hate to be so blunt about that, but yeah. But they have the means to keep themselves alive. And where do you get the water? Oh, it comes from the air. But it also comes from where you think. Yeah, they recycle their own urine. Yeah. And it's cleaner than any water you drink here in the United States. I guarantee you it's cleaner than this. But yeah, it's some amazing stuff. So I highly recommend this if this is down your alley. But, not documentaries about engineering aren't for everybody. So what are you going to do? Let's pick tomorrow's episode. That's what we're going to do. 226. 226. Okay. We're back to the documentary run here. This one seems pretty straightforward. I don't know if it's going to be a series or just a single one, but we'll find out tomorrow. Easy enough. This is simply called Oceans. So yeah, just missed Olaf's Frozen Adventure. Just by one. So yeah, tomorrow we're watching Oceans on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.